Lustigerweise weiß ich Scheiße. Warte, was? Der weiß auch gleich auf die Scheiße. Haben wir ein zweites Handy da mit YouTube? Genau. Ist der YouTube da?
Macht dann Larissa. Oder jetzt nicht mal. Ja, dann setzen wir uns mal rechts auf.
Ja, weiß ich das schon. Bin vielleicht zu weit weg. Es wird laut genug sein. Hörst du mich? Ha? Ja, habe ich gerade gesehen. Can you have a look that this is not turning off?
Ja.
Okay. Ja? Okay. Oh, Test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Scheint zu gehen, ne? Ach, wir haben sogar hier. Bin ja begeistert. So it's youngsters on the air time once again. Very warm welcome to the youngsters on the air flag handover today, as well as some general information. What has happened since the last time we've been here? Claudia? Hello? Let's see if we got a second slide as well. No? Aha, there we go. So first introduction of myself. My name is Philip, Delta Kilo 6 Sierra Papa, and I'm the current chair of the International Amateur Radio Union Region 1 Youth Working Group, and thus eligible for the, or accountable for the YOTA initiative within the working group. Over here, this is Marcus, my vice chair, Delta Lima 8 Golf Mike, and we two will lead you through the process today. So we will introduce you into the Youngsters on the Air program at first. Afterwards, we will continue with a little introduction into the upcoming Croatian 10th annual YOTA Summer Camp. And afterwards, once this is done, we will do the flag ceremony by the end of this presentation. Let's continue with the next slide. So I don't want to get too many details now to you because this is kind of boring, but just to show off what we achieved during the past years since 2011. This is just mainly the YOTA summer camps, what we have done so far. So we started back in 2011, so already 11 years ago, being a part of the European Union youth program, Erasmus, in YOTA, Romania. And we continued since 2012, also YOTA Belgium and Netherlands still under this flag, 2013 in Estonia. In 2014 we got implemented into the IARU Region 1. So since 2014 it is a program by the Youth Working Group which was established back then as well. So from YOTA Finland up to now in 9 Alpha in Croatia, we will have the 10th annual YOTA Summer Camp. We are not only speaking in Europe's or Region 1 biggest fair, we are also present in Regions 2 and 3. This is namely the Americas in Region 2 in Dayton, Ohio, as well as the Tokyo Ham Fair in Japan. So we try to expand the whole thing, the whole youth work internationally, and this was kind of successful all over the years. So continuing with some introduction into the youth work in general. So how to start youth work. I'm talking to everyone who is present today. Youth work doesn't start with a society, or doesn't start with the youth working group. It is starting in front of your front door. If you open your front door and see a neighborhood child who is searching for a new hobby, try to introduce them into youth, into amateur radio, get them involved, get them in front of the radio and just show them off what can be possible through amateur radio. It's not only the radio aspect, it's the internationality, it's the hardware, software, everything is, we have such a big variety with all the radio stuff. So be open-minded, invite people, show them what you're doing, so amateur radio gets to know better in the community. What we can do for this, the Youth Working Group is providing a program called Train the Trainer. Train the Trainer, TTT shortly, is a program where we gather ideas from member societies, put it online on our website, and you can share ideas or best practice examples, better to say, which has worked before at other societies. So you can easily adapt these ideas and see if it's working for you as well. So Train the Trainer reports have been a big thing within the Youth Working Group as well. Train the Trainer is also a big thing within our YOTA Summer and Sub-Regional camps. All attending teams will have a workshop every day about this Train the Trainer. So these will multiply these information towards their societies and hopefully try to evolve the youth work among all the societies among the region as well. So what can we do? Small activities, like I said, go on the street and find the people interested in the hobby, not only radio, but also hard software and everything which goes with it. You can do local youth events, go to islands, go to summits, local VHF activities, everything which can get youth into the hobby, basically. So it starts in front of your door, your front door, also the societies involved, but also Region 1 involved. So what is the importance of youth work? As it's stated here, youth are the most important and dynamic segment of the population in any country. Just imagine how many youngsters are in your society at home, at your local society at home. How many can be involved into amateur radio very easily because of STEM or other similar programs. Amateur radio is not that far off STEM, it is within the program. We can develop the future of ham radio together, but if we don't invest into new buys, not especially talking about youngsters only, but get everyone interested into the hobby. Not only youngsters up to 26, everyone is welcome. And we also have the social responsibility where we gain the contacts to form our future lives. So many great stories were achieved where former YOTA participants gained a network or get into a network themselves up to their future professional career through contacts made at YOTA events. Youngsters on the Air initiative by the Youth Working Group Region 1. So this is the importance of youth work, continued by our main event, the summer camps, and I will hand over the microphone to our Vice Chair, Marcus.
Yes.
Also.
Right, live stream microphone hotspot, it better work. Yes, the summer camps. Phil already said it's where it all started. You can see some picture of summer camps here. The very first one, still EU funded and not YARU funded, was Yankee Oscar Zero, Yankee Oscar Alpha in Romania in 2011. And from then on, it just grew and grew and grew and continued. We've had Belgium, Netherlands, Estonia, Finland. Then it went under the YARU umbrella, went to Italy, Austria, UK, South Africa, Bulgaria, and after an unfortunately long COVID break, we'll next be going to Croatia. Yes, so what does the summer camp look like? In general, the summer camp is organized by one Region 1 member society, with the historical exception being Belgium and the Netherlands together. Then each member society, whether the organizers or not, they send a team to this camp. Usually it's 4 people maximum per country. Age starting 15 years, run about to 25 years. Team leaders, which, well, is one of them in there. We generally prefer to be a bit older, so a slightly raised lower limit, but that's also slightly raised upper limit, so team leaders 18 to 30. So we end up with people participating their age between 15 and 30 years. We then have about 30 teams, so if you consider 30 teams at 4 youngsters maximum, that's 120 participants, which is about the largest we've had. We've had some smaller ones, like 80, 90 people, but so like roughly around about 80, 100 people. Sometimes it's been a bit more. What do we do there? Well, it's a general radio camp. Nowadays, the probably most important part in here is the train the trainer program that was decided upon at the YARU General Conference in 2017 and has since ever formed an important part at the camps in South Africa and in Bulgaria, and also will in the upcoming Croatian camp. Train the Trainer is about having the camp not just be a week of fun for the participants, which it of course should be, but furthermore we want to motivate the youngsters to start similar events in their country. Not as large, not as complicated as youth camps, the summer camps, but like weekend camps or other similar activities, let's say field day or going on a SOTA expedition or similar together, or whatever else people come up with. That's what trainers for. Get youngsters to exchange their ideas, maybe plan something together. I know in some countries there have been like 2 or 3 countries coming together, holding a small event together. And other than that, it's the usual amateur radio stuff, let's say, that happens at those camps. You have kit building, there has often been a fox hunt, so ARDF been part of there as well. Presentation on various parts of the topic, be it SOTA or more technical stuff, or operating skills, contesting, DXing. There, of course, is the obligatory amateur radio station at the camp as well that people can use with the YOTA call sign. And whatever else people come up with. There's like off-air content and whatnot. As for when it happens, as the name says, summer camp, it usually happens in summer. Notable exception being South Africa, which is on the southern hemisphere, so South Africa technically was a winter camp. So it's usually beginning of August, where we organize it sometimes a bit earlier, a bit later, depending on venue availability and whatnot, but that's what we usually try to aim for. So we end up having it within most people's summer break. Students or pupils obviously aren't available for camps like this if they have simultaneous university or schoolwork going on. Now it all started in Region 1, and still YOTA is mostly focused on Region 1, but we've had guests from other regions. In 2016 we had 2 people from the US who are now running their own camp over there in the US, which has happened twice already. We've had visitors from Japan in 2017 who are now also organizing small events in Japan. We've had also people coming in from New Zealand. Then we're active in the December YOTA month, which Phil will talk about later. And with the upcoming camp, we'll also have visitors from around the world. So Region 2 and Region 3 will be present as well, despite the obvious Region 1 focus. Yes, okay. More information about the camp. It's usually a 1-week thing, so rather long camp compared to what we want people to do at home, but it's usually over very quickly, despite 7 days seeming rather long. The country switches year by year. As I said, I've already listed them. This year Croatia, next year we don't know yet, but your member society is free to apply. If you want to organize a camp, ask your member society, see if you can apply. We'll inform about that when the Croatian camp is over. The member society organizing it, as well as YARU Region 1, we provide everything that will be needed: accommodation, food, drinks, and what else. Funding comes from YARU Region 1, as well as the member society organizing it or other sponsors. There have been lots of local sponsors involved in those camps that you wouldn't initially think of. For the participants themselves, they have to pay their travel arrangements, so the flight or train or whatever tickets. We don't provide those. And there's a mostly symbolic fee of usually 25 to 50 euros per participant, varying between the different years. But for the past few ones, it's been 50 euros per participant. I already mentioned the US. There was a camp in the US last year, as well as this year, at the Voice of America Museum in Dayton, Ohio. There also was one planned in Thailand, in Region 3. That was planned for, well, 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. So the Region 3 camp unfortunately had to be cancelled as well, similar to our summer camp in 2020. But hopefully we'll soon see a similar event in Region 3 pop up again. Yes, that's some impressions, some more impressions from the camp. The, let's say, obvious amateur radio part there is operating at a station. Here you can see, well, Oscar Echo 2 YOTA. Then in 2019, obviously, Lima Zulu 19 YOTA similar stations have always been active at the camps. All kind of weird modes that people activate, or running a contest who can work someone else in the most different modes. Weird stuff happening there. There's been summits on the air activations in Austria, in UK, at least I know of them. People then of course get to practice how to use a station. From some countries, participants have never really had the opportunity to actually work at a reasonably large station, or develop the operating skills for lack of ELMAs in the countries. So usually youngsters help themselves get on the air at those stations. They understand how the station works, figure out where everything goes together. And then the already mentioned other amateur radio part. Sometimes it's a bit forgotten about, but it's been part of many YOTA camps, ARDF. So fox hunting, youngsters running around in the woods trying to find hidden transmitters. Yes, more stuff. Workshops happening. There you can see the antenna setup at the Austrian camp. Presentations on all sorts of stuff. In many cases, there's been a license exam. In Austria, there was an opportunity to get an American license. In the UK, we did the British Foundation license. There's been a South African exam at the South African camp. If that's an opportunity, then that happens. There have been 2-meter contests at some camps, or also off-air contests. So just put a bunch of youngsters in a room and give them a limited time and see how many offline QSOs they can have. Or also participating in actual on-air contests that happen to be taking part during the camp. Yeah, there's of course electronics, the technical side of our hobby as well. Some sort of kit building, building radios or parts of radios or whatever the organizers come up with. There's been antenna building, ranging from like small Yagis to large wire antennas. And usually there's been an opportunity as well for people to actually use their equipment. So they don't rebuild it and pack it together and then it disappears in a bag. But in the same week, people are usually given the opportunity to use their self-built equipment as well. Yes, one part of the YOTA camps that everyone usually fondly remembers, it's usually the first or second evening. It's the intercultural evening. Since we have people from so many different countries, so many different cultures coming together, it's a great opportunity to introduce your country's culture to other youngsters in that place. It often involves traditional clothing, food, other local customs that then the youngsters present to each other. Of course, there are also visits to places in the well-known places within the host country. For example, the Italian camp has been in Pisa. You can see the Pisa Cathedral and the Leaning Tower in the back. The UK camp was very close to London, so of course part of the program was a day trip to London as well. And then the next thing, since we've only always had one large summer camp, the idea was, how can we get even more youngsters to camp? We can't just scale up the summer camps infinitely. So it was decided to slightly cap the size of summer camps, but instead we offer more camps, and that's how we ended up with the sub-regional camps. The name may be seeming a bit odd because, well, Region 1 encompasses Europe, Africa, Middle East, Northern Asia, with sub-regional then referring to a handful of countries, let's say. So these camps are usually smaller. We usually say 25 participants should be there, going up to 50, 60 maybe. We are more flexible with how long it takes. We say 3 to 8 days. Usually it's been a long weekend, so starting Thursday or Friday until Sunday. The contents are roughly the same as the summer camps, maybe slightly scaled down, but there's still all sorts of presentations about it, kit building workshops, presentations, and whatnot. And by far and large, we have the same goals as with the summer camp. So kids should have fun there, also motivate them to host something in their own country, and also being more accessible than the summer camps, since there's one summer camp every year, maybe involves some long traveling. For example, most of the Europeans have had quite a lot of travel to the South African camp, so that's of course easier if the camp is more local. And yes, that's the summer camps and the sub-regional camps, the place where YOTA started and still one of our main topics. But there's more, there's direct on-the-air activities, and those Philip is going to talk about now.
Our YouTube live watchers need to hear me as well. So, okay, we just roughly go through another 2 programs we have within the Youngsters on the Air initiative. So the next one will be the Youth Contest Program, the YCP shortly. What is it about? So youth members from societies can apply for the Youth Contest Program. Stations all over the Region 1 apply at the Youth Working Group to offer the station, to open up the station basically, for a worldwide contest. And they will come together and operate from these Top Gun stations all over Region 1. So these have been basically in the past 9A, 1A in Croatia, for example. We've been in contact with the Alpha 44 Alpha station in Oman. We were at Echo Sierra 9 Charlie Estonia, and all the big guns, you know, are active in every contest. They open up, they understood that the youth is still needed, and otherwise they will not have any callers in the next 20 years in the contest. So we need to start early to get these introduced into the contest aspect of the hobby as well. So these young hams will know, or will learn how to operate the contest stations after the contest. They will probably come with no knowledge. They just know how to turn on the the transmitter and know how to do a QSO, but will have more knowledge afterwards when they leave the station once again on Sunday or Monday after the contest. Also, an aspect is a youngster will probably also come for the first time to the host country, so there is also the availability to check out the surroundings of the station, visit the capital of the country, and also the social aspect is not to be missed during these events. Followed by the next slide, the key data. Also here, the rule applies that 25 or younger, under the age of 26. We have 1 or 2 participants per member society attending. As I said, any level of contest experience is accepted, definitely, and also wanted, because we have a big mixture of people coming to the station and operate together, forming a team, as a team spirit building. We will have a team, depending on the size of the station, normally of ±6 international, plus domestic youngsters as well. Again, funded by the Youth Working Group, at least what is possible, and the youngsters will just travel to the station, everything else is covered. This shortly to the YCP, followed by the December YOTA month. You probably already made a contact with the YOTA stations active within the December YOTA month. Shortly the DYM. On the next slide. Again, this was introduced 2013 already, so a lot of years ago, as a need out of the YOTA Summer Camp in Estonia. People wanted to connect to each other also out of the in-person events. So we came up with the December YOTA month activity, an activity 31 days. Last year we had nearly 70 active stations, 70 active stations from over 45 countries worldwide. 130,000 QSOs made by youngsters under the age of 26. 130,000 QSOs in 1 month. So this is growing pretty much since the start in 2013. And we try to encourage youngsters to be active on the bands, of course, and also get knowledge how to operate and how to be active. As I said, 2013, 19 stations participated initially from 14 different countries. As I said, now up to nearly 70, and constantly over 100,000 QSOs the past 3 years. We are active from all over the continents, meanwhile, North and South America active now, Europe, Africa, Oceania, and Asia. Everyone is involved. The general rules, again, under the age of 26, and we want to get the youngsters on the air. We will have normally 2 YOTA call signs per IARU member society. Of course, in the case of the US, for example, we have 4 call signs active because of the pure size of the country. So this is negotiable with us in the Youth Working Group. The societies request, just for the process, the societies will request the call signs by November with us at specifically for this event designed homepage developed by our IT team back there. Hello? Our IT team there, or at least part of them. And yeah, we are active throughout the whole December. I said 31 days of activity. We also provide the QSL service for all participating stations, as well as provide the logging system and an award system, which is also for free for everyone participating. Everyone can just download the award, but I will come to this in a few seconds. One back, please. Zurück. So. Just go one back and just leave it open. One back. Yeah, so here you see the 4 diplomas we have from back in the days. Now they look a little bit different, but you can achieve 4 different awards. So this is easy going for everyone participating. The use cases are, for example, you can also have a sub-regional camp like the winter camp, Christmas camp, whatever camp. Invite the youngsters, activate the call sign, get to know your youngsters in the society and get them on the bands. That is probably the message. We also introduced last year the YOTA contest as a final topic now. YOTA contest is also organized by the youth working group as well as the member society from Hungary, HAMRADIO. We do have 3 events per year, lasting only 12 hours, so we see the needs of youngsters not being able to do 24 hours, we only do 12 hours, and also have a 6-hour category. We are open for everyone participating and do many things for the youth within the YOTA contest. The general rules are we are operating 80, 40, 20, 15 and 10 in CW and SSB, Morse code and SSB, and the report you send is 5, 9 plus H. The H comes in as a multiplier. So the younger the operator, the more points you get. So it's a big thing for the youth to be being active within the contest because they're worth a lot, not only in real life but also in the contest. All the details you can look up on our website, of course, but I don't want to go in detail now. We have different categories. Just have a look there. We can definitely talk about this at our booth, but we are running already short of time. These, just have a look now and we can discuss later at the booth. Our special focus, as I said, are the extra categories for youngsters because they're not that represented as we want for now in bigger contests. We are slowly getting there, but this YOTA contest helps the youngsters being active on the bands. So the focus again is to support all the youngsters worldwide to get on the air. So we have different categories achieving that. This is the team with the Emraj, Marcus and I from the youth working group, and Tommy and Csaba from the Hungarian society. If you have any questions, just stop by our booth and we can discuss there in detail. Just shortly mentioning our social media if you're not following us. We made a big mistake, just follow us now and everything will be all right. Being up to date of all we are doing. If you want to get in contact with us, just use those messengers or this email provided here. So, we are coming to the second thing of today's doing, and I want to invite Team 9 Alpha to me on the floor, calling Michaela, 983 Whiskey Whiskey, and Pedro, 987 Papa Papa. And they will introduce you, once the next slides are up, the PDF, to the upcoming 10th annual YOTA Summer Camp in Croatia. And after that, we will do the YOTA flag ceremony. After. Give them 10 minutes. All right, go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, so while we're waiting, here we are to tell you about the 9 Alpha Summer Camp, the longest awaited summer camp ever. It all began in 2019 when the HRS applied to host the event. Then 2020 happened and we had to postpone. Later we tried again, 2021. And again the same thing, we had to postpone. But you know, as they say, third luck's the charm. Here we are, 2022, and it's finally going to happen. The camp will be in Karlovac, 70 kilometers from the capital Zagreb. It will be held from 6 till 13th of August 2022. Over 100 youngsters from 30 plus countries and over 4 continents are coming. We have representing region 2 and 3, El Salvador, USA, South Korea and Japan. Here on the picture you can see the location of the camp, Hostel Bedem, which is the student center in Karlovac. As for the workshops, while we were making the original plan, we had a bit of a different view than, let's say, after this whole corona situation. And in the beginning we had a lot of construction, station working, ARDF and so on, but we decided to include something that has never been done before. The IOTA, SOTA and SOTA, all 3 of them together in one camp. because in COVID we have noticed that we, not just us Croatians, but I think everyone, in all those lockdowns, we missed the outdoors. And we wanted our focus on the camp to be more on the HAMRADIO outdoors activity. But more on the YOTA, SOTA and SOTA locations, you will hear from Peter a bit later. What I would also like to mention is that the shack will be open 24/7. It will be able for the youngsters to be able to work on 11 beds. They will also be able to work from the satellite QO100 and also remote work. But we don't want them to be all work and no play. So in the evenings, we have made a list of activities that they can for sure partake, some of which are listed here. Some, of course, you know well, which is the intercultural evening, an opportunity for every country to represent itself and its culture. I would also like to point out the segment Under the Stars. Because at the time of the event, a unique thing that happens once a year will happen, which is the meteor shower, called in Croatia, Tears of St. Logo, which the youngsters will be able to look at throughout the evenings of the camp. And now I will hand you over to Petar.
Hello everyone, I'm Petar. I will take you through the special events during the camp in Croatia. So first special event we had is SOTA, Summits of the Air. This beautiful mountain, this beautiful peak, is above our capital city of Zagreb. It's called Sljeme. The event will take place after we take a tour of city of Zagreb. Then we visit the Technical Museum of Nikola Tesla in Zagreb and take a cable car to the top. Of course, everyone will get involved. I think that we'll probably we'll try to make as many contacts as we can. Of course, this is a special event which will be specially rewarded at the with the certificates after the event. Yeah. So next slide, please. One of the next events that we have is Castles on the Air. This will take place in the city of Karlovac, near city of Karlovac. The castle is called Dubovec. We will take, of course, the tour of the city. After that, we will have stations operating out of the castle, and in the vicinity of the castle, the RDF will take place. The RDF will use the equipment that the students or the youth built during their construction workshops. Thank you. And the last special event is Islands on the Air. We'll visit a beautiful island of Krk in Croatia, of course. We will visit the town of Baška, and over there we will see a historical site which is related to the Baščanska ploča, which is a Glagolic script, first written text in Croatian. We'll hold a workshop on this script and the original Croatian language, and after that we will do some QSOs from the special booth we will set up there, and the kids will also enjoy the beach time. So anyone who can swim will enjoy the beautiful Adriatic Sea. So thank you for this, and I will hand over to Michaela now.
So we wanted to be brief because the event hasn't yet happened, and we want to keep a few aces in our sleeve for the participants to be surprised when they arrive. So that would be all from us. I will hand you all over to IARU.
So, if you want to get to know the 9 Alpha youngsters more, they also have a booth here in Hall A1. So just stop by and talk to these beautiful, young, enthusiastic amateur radio operators. Also the youth working group, A1 2A2, just in the left rear corner, has a booth. So if you want to talk about any topic mentioned today, feel free to do so. Before we go to the YOTA flag ceremony, I just want to remind you tomorrow, 10 a.m. at room Liechtenstein, just up there. There's the International Youth Meeting with lots of youth coordinators attending. So if you want to network yourself within the youth community, feel free to join us. Also 9 Alpha will be present once again, and also answering, or there's a possibility to ask questions, and we're happy to answer those there as well. So now I want to invite also Team YOTA Bulgaria onto the stage. Because applause. Because also the member society BFRA was hosting the last happening YOTA Summer Camp back in 2019 with big success in Sofia area. And just to introduce you to our Golden Morse key, which was provided by Begali back in 2015 for the YOTA Italia camp. And this is like a souvenir which wanders around for all the YOTA summer camps. So now we have the possibility to do the flag handover, the official youngsters on the air flag, handing over to 9 Alpha, including the YOTA key. So we wish them good luck. And yeah, take your photos and Marcus, yeah. 1 second. We need good photos, you know. PR is everything. Markus, gehen wir das Foto. Stell dich hin. Sollst du mit dazustellen? All right, so camp is officially handed over to the Croatian team. Congratulations, and hopefully we will have a good outcome. Every luck possible. Yeah, no pressure, of course. We will have up to 100 youngsters joining in August. As Michaela said, from over 30 countries. So this will be a very international event, and we're really looking forward to it. Follow our channels on social media to not miss anything, and if you have questions, feel free, as I said, come to the booth or to the International Youth Meeting tomorrow, room Liechtenstein, 10 a.m. Thank you for your attendance today, and we hope to talk to you soon. 73s, and bye-bye. All right. Turning this off first.